So two related points here. One, I kind of want to talk about the people attacking Ocasio-Cortez for stuff, and not only that, but I want to then criticize people on the opposite side for then blowing that stuff out of proportion. So, from what I can see, like there seems to be a kind of rift between the right wing or between the people that are anti Ocasio-Cortez, which I mean I'm not a fan of Ocasio-Cortez. But something that I noticed in the primaries was that once she won the primaries, I saw a lot of people on election night surprised that she won. And this is not even remotely surprising. Like, you could tell just by looking at the district that she was obviously going to win. But what I see is a lot of people blowing this out of proportion, kind of to the point where it's almost as if Ocasio-Cortez has this sort of like Trump effect around her, where the criticism against her is often illogical, or like at least some of the attacks. Again, not all, because I'm no fan of her, so there are tons of things you can criticize her for. But it seems that Ocasio-Cortez has a lot of people criticizing her over the most stupid, insignificant things, that she grows a fan base because people look at her attackers and they say, well, those people are morons. Well, those people seem to have it obviously, like they seem to hate her over the littlest things, so they become fans of her. Like that seems to be what's happening. It's the same thing with Trump, where a lot of people are pushed towards Trump just because the attacks on him were so insane and nonsensical. Like it wasn't policy position stuff. It wasn't legitimate criticism. It was just like rabid, this guy is literally Hitler. And I see that not to the extent that Trump gets it, but to a little bit of an extent against Ocasio-Cortez, where people attack her for little stupid things. And honestly, it's like, if you're not going to criticize her for some kind of policy position, she says, and obviously this applies to any like public figure, but it seems that it's most necessary to say that with Ocasio-Cortez. But it seems that like if you're going to criticize her for anything, do it on a policy position, on like an actual position she holds or something she says that's true that is actually false. Criticize her on that. That seems to be the only thing I can criticize her on, because I've seen people criticize her for the fact that she does live streams in an unprofessional manner, like to the point where it's just her doing live streams in like her kitchen or her bedroom, something very unprofessional and generic, I guess. And unprofessional sounds like a negative term, but I don't mean it that way at all. It seems very very honest. And that's something I can honestly see as a benefit from her part. That when she does these live streams, even though she says things that are incredibly dumb and wrong, I see people going after her for the weird things like that, for being unprofessional. And it's like, well, her base really does like that because it's a better connection. Like, would you rather, if you're going to watch a video, like watch a live stream from your politician, would you prefer it be like professionally shot in their 7th bedroom in their mansion, or like in Ocasio-Cortez's apartment in her kitchen? Like, it's much more honest the way she does it. And so I'll give her a benefits for that, despite the fact that every time she says stuff, it tends to be wrong. But that's really my point, honestly, is just quit it with the nonsensical criticism, because that seems to be strengthening her. And then on to the next thing from the opposite side, where this is just one article, but I've seen like there's like 10 different articles all on the same thing, where apparently, I'm just going to play this for a second. It's only like 9 seconds long. This is a 10-year-old video. Ocasio-Cortez was apparently like dancing in this video. And that was it. There was only 5 seconds. I think that was just a clip of it, but there's a clip of her dancing. And even the people that were really dumb, in like even the worst critics of Ocasio-Cortez, all of them with the exception of one of them was smart enough not to criticize her for dancing. And good, because I can't imagine criticize, like I right before I did this video, I looked up a bunch of like the big right-wing figures to see what they had to say about this, and pretty much all of the ones that said something on it were like, yeah, it's dumb to criticize dancing. Like, what's wrong with, like, there's nothing wrong with this video. It's her dancing. Okay, if you don't like it, whatever. Like, it's not a negative thing for her part. It's nothing worth criticizing. And I'm reassured and I'm glad to see that, with the exception of one person, nobody criticized her. And this I'm not talking, when I say one person criticized her, I'm not talking about one major political figure with millions of followers. I'm talking about one random dude on Twitter who apparently goes by the name Where was it? By the name Anonymous Q1776, who posted the video and then was making fun of, was accusing her of acting like a clueless nitwit, which she does. She does act like a clueless nitwit, but not in the dancing video. Like, it's just her dancing. Like, whatever. I don't see it as an issue. But of course, now again, you'll find like 10 different articles on it, where even though there are people unjustifiably criticizing Ocasio-Cortez, the media seems to be picking up on this one dude. Literally, one dude. And now it's like, oh, Representative Ocasio-Cortez has been criticized for college dance video. So much has happened that apparently she responded with another dance video. And it's like, this was one dude. This was one dude on the internet. Some nobody criticized her for this. And all of a sudden it's a big thing and we're going to blow it out of proportion. And all of a sudden this is everything. Everyone on the right is now criticizing her for dancing. And that's just like, this is fake news here because it's one person. It makes it seem like it's more than one person because if it was some nobody, which it is, it's not worth reporting. Like, you can write thousands of articles on what one person said about another person on Twitter. Like, because there are there are hundreds of thousands of tweets being posted every minute. So you could find anything that anyone says, but apparently they seem to have latched onto this one, which gained a little bit of traction. And again, it's like, there's nothing wrong with the dance video. I see nothing wrong, and it seems that everyone else pretty much accepted that there was nothing wrong with it besides one person. But of course the media is now blowing this out of proportion. And now this is something that happens with all kinds of people too. Like, I'm not just saying this is something that the left does against the right. That, like, the right wing does this too. They will take one thing a leftist said. They will take one stupid thing that some random leftist said on Twitter, and all of a sudden it's the left's newest position. They're the newest thing they're pushing, and it's like, no, it's just one moron on the internet. But yeah, of course, just remember not to trust everything that you read. Remember that whenever a media article, whether it be left wing, right wing, like a supposedly centrist, if they're coming out and saying people are criticizing this person for this, people are saying this about this person, well, you have to figure out what people means, because in this case they didn't say people because they knew that would be incorrect because it was a singular person, one person, and not people. But make sure, like, take a second to actually, like, do a search on social media to see what people are actually saying, because it seems that, like, a lot of these people, the people that are saying this, like, it's like 6 random nobodies with like 6 followers on the internet, and you can do that with anything. It's like with the gender neutral Santa thing that was happening during last Christmas, where it was like, oh, people want Santa to be gender neutral. I think there was even an article titled that people want Santa to be gender neutral, and it's like, yeah, they did a poll and it was like 10% of people were for that, and it's like, yeah, I suppose people were for that, but when you get a poll and 10% are for it, that's not newsworthy. That's not something you write about. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say here. Don't trust when it says people, and don't criticize Ocasio-Cortez for stupid things. Criticize her for actual policy positions. But it seems like there is some kind of Trump effect developing around her, and you can't let that happen. Like, when Ocasio-Cortez says something stupid, make a funny meme about it. And honestly, I've seen memes going around where they'll take Ocasio-Cortez and they'll put like a stupid quote next to it, and I think most people are smart enough to understand that obviously, like, the way the meme is made, it's not something she actually said. It's not something she actually said. It's just making fun of her. It's just making fun of all the other stupid things she's saying by putting a quote that is something she didn't say next to her. But it does seem that a lot of people fall for that. Like, a lot of, especially like the boomer people on the internet seem to fall for that, where they'll look at a quote and they'll be like, oh, she actually said this, and yeah. But yeah, just only stuff like that. Like, it's more of, if you're gonna attack someone, make sure it's something super legitimate and make sure it's an actual policy position, because I think that all of the attacks from her, or the attacks against her, if anything, have strengthened her base because there are so many unjustified ones. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments section. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more. Share the video. If you know anyone that's coming out and saying, oh, like, people are criticizing, the right wing is criticizing Ocasio-Cortez for a dance video. It's like, one person is. That's it. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments section, and thanks for watching.